Hey there, this is Mr. Icarus, and welcome to yet another edition of Doom Mod Madness. This time round we're playing A Boy in His Barrel, a rather unique mod that takes inspiration from the companion cube of Portal, a little bit of inspiration from A Boy in His Blob, I believe as well, if we're going by the title, and the whole thing about this is Doomguy is now married to this barrel of blueberry juice. I think it's blueberry juice. And the whole point of this is you have to escort the barrel all the way through the level to the end, using the barrel to trigger certain switches to enable you to climb up to certain platforms, and all the while you've got to protect your barrel. She is your life, she is your everything, only she can pick up health packs with the purple heart, and if you want some health back, you gotta drink deep from your beloved barrel. God, everything about this sounds wrong, doesn't it? But in either case, you've got to be a bit careful about when you choose to drink from Violet, your beloved barrel, because if her health reaches 0, that's it. Game over. It is all about protecting that barrel and making sure you're around to protect it as well, because of course, if you hit 0 in health, it is also game over. I think it's fairly safe to say that this mod does a pretty fine job of taking advantage of that interdependent relationship. It could have been a hell of a lot more bare bones, a lot more vanilla in execution. It could have just been you shunting this barrel along to the end of a level, no puzzle elements, just you defending it from enemy fire. But the introduction of these puzzle elements really does elevate it a step further, make it a lot more fun and satisfying to play as a result. In terms of the puzzles themselves, there's nothing really that difficult for you to deal with here. I mean, as you could expect from a mod with barrel-based puzzling at its heart, most of the stuff here is pretty simple and straightforward. The real difficulty here, the real challenge, comes from making sure the barrel actually gets shunted in the direction you want to shunt it. And that can get pretty tricky, especially with fine movements where you want it to go exactly over the medkits to make sure it's fully topped up before crossing hazards, such as that toxic waste there. Force fields also play an important part in this particular mod, some of which will only allow your barrel to pass, some of which will only allow you to pass. In either case, they usually lead to something important like a keycard or a switch, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how they implement those force fields in future levels, because at the moment there's only 2 levels available here. There's just the tutorial and this level here, but I'm thinking that there could be some interesting situations set up with the use of force fields. For example, it might be a really good way to induce a little bit of separation anxiety between you and your barrel. Imagine pushing it through a force field which leads to a conveyor belt, and that conveyor belt leads to a switch. That switch lowers it into a room full of ravenous monsters, but you need the barrel to be on that switch to let you into the room to defend your barrel in turn. It could be a really great way to set up some tense and challenging situations, and it's stuff like that that I'm really looking forward to seeing. I'm hoping that they take advantage of all the possibilities that this concept can provide, and yeah, I'll be keeping a close eye on future map releases as a result. All future potential aside of what there is at present here in A Boy in His Barrel is still pretty fun to play through. We've got recharging health pools for our barrel, we've got additional hazards like the electrified floor here, and we've also got additional puzzles such as the double switch here, which may be familiar to anyone who's played Portal with the companion cube. We've basically got to get our barrel on one side while we stand on the other to clear the path ahead, but yeah, maneuvering this barrel does become very problematic at certain points. You really need to brute force it to ping it away from certain surfaces, which I suppose is where the power-up that I'm currently holding comes in handy. Now, at first, I didn't quite realize what it was for, which made me feel like a little bit of an idiot later. I thought it was going to be some kind of health replenishment power-up. You can see it at the bottom of the screen just by my armor. It's a little purple heart, and I thought it would just, instantly replenish the barrel's health. But no, it's a power-up that actually summons the barrel from wherever it currently is directly to your side. Just teleports it straight over, and it's basically a bootstrap fix for whenever that barrel gets stuck in a corner, much like it was earlier. At least that's what I assume. I could be wrong. It could be a power-up intended to be used when your barrel is overwhelmed and surrounded by enemies, something to get it out of the way and safe so you could adequately defend it a bit better, but me, personally, it finds a hell of a lot better use getting the barrel away from these awkward stuck-to-wall situations. I just feel like that particular power-up could be beefed up a little bit. It could lead to some interesting scenarios. Imagine if you had more than one charge available for that particular power-up. Imagine if it did actually replenish health whenever you teleported it back to your side. It could lead to the creation of some interesting scenarios to accommodate it. And again, that's something that I would like to see in future. And as far as I can tell, Boy in His Barrel is still in an early stage. As I've already mentioned, we've only got a tutorial level in this first proof of concept level here, and it hums along nicely. It does the job fine. There's some interesting little platform puzzles here. There's a lot of tension to the encounters where you're ambushed by enemies, and you do start to feel genuine concern for your barrel, despite the fact that it is largely an inanimate object with a bow tied to it. But yeah, there's a lot of potential in this one. There's a lot of things that they can do with this concept, and it's honestly testament to what they've achieved so far that I had as much fun with it as I did. I honestly wasn't expecting it to be as satisfying in its current form, but going by the tutorial level in this first major map here, they clearly understand the concept. They clearly get what makes the idea work and what makes it satisfying to play through, even if the maneuvering of the barrel itself can be an utter pain in the ass sometimes. But yeah, you should definitely check it out, and you should definitely keep an eye on it as well. I will be eagerly anticipating any future updates on this one, but if you want to give it a whirl yourself, the link, as usual, is in the description below. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Feel free to let me know what you thought in the comments, and feel free to suggest any mod you'd like to see me cover in future episodes of Doom Mod Madness. This has been Mr. Icarus. Thank you very much for watching. Icarus out.